You know the number by heart. You've dialed it hundreds of times. In the car, before bed, between meetings, standing in a parking lot, watching the seconds tick down until they pick up. You don't even look at the screen when you do it. You just know the number. You know how many rings before they answer. You know the pause before their voice. You know exactly how they sound when it's you, not the voicemail, not a distracted hello to a stranger, their voice when they see your name on the screen. Warm before they even say a word. One day, that voice won't be on the other end. You won't know it when it happens. You'll hang up like always. You'll say the same things you always say. Okay, talk later, love you, bye. And that will be it. The last time that voice answers for you. But that's not the call I want you to sit with right now. I want you to think about the one after. Because there's a moment most people don't let themselves imagine until they're already standing in it, and I want you to imagine it now while you still have a choice about how the story ends. You probably tell yourself there'll be warning, a hospital, a decline you can see coming, a call that prepares you, that gives you time to say the things you've been meaning to say, to make the visit you've been postponing, to have the conversation that keeps getting pushed to some quieter, less complicated season. Most people believe this. It makes the distance bearable. It makes the missed calls feel temporary, the rescheduled visits feel fine, the "I'll call them this weekend" feel like a safe bet. Sometimes there is warning, sometimes you get the time, but sometimes the number just rings, and no one answers. Here's what that call is actually like. You dial because you haven't in a few days, or because something made you think of them, a smell, a song, a moment that felt like something they would have liked. You dial the way you've always dialed. No weight in it. No reason to be afraid. And it rings. You wait. You think. They're in the yard. They're on another call. They stepped away from the phone. You try again later. Still no answer. And somewhere between the second ring and the third, not in a dramatic moment, not in a movie scene, something quiet shifts. A wrongness with no name. Because this number has always been answered. Your whole life, this number has been answered. And for the first time, it isn't. You will remember exactly where you were standing when you understood it wasn't going to be answered anymore. The parking lot, the kitchen, the highway in the dark, the exact ordinary place where ordinary life cracked open. Most people never let themselves picture that moment. Not because they're strong, because the picture is too specific to live with. But you're picturing it now, and something in you is saying, I still have time to make it matter less. That number is in your phone right now. Scroll through your contacts, past the daily texts, past the group chats, past the names you haven't spoken to in years, and there it is. Mom, dad, home, whatever you've saved it as. Press that contact and someone answers. Press it and someone's afternoon changes quietly, without any announcement. Press it and a voice you know better than almost any other voice in the world says your name. Says it the way only that one person says it. Not a greeting, a recognition, an entire history compressed into one syllable. There's a version of your phone where that contact is still there, where the name is still there, where you scroll past it every day without pressing it, without thinking, because the number used to ring and now it doesn't. Some people keep calling it anyway, not because they believe someone will answer, because the voicemail still has the voice. Because for 17 seconds, the world sounds the way it used to. Because hearing your name said in that particular way, even on a recording, is worth the grief that follows. That contact, right now, connects to someone alive who would love nothing more than to see your name on their screen. This is not a given. It only feels like one. Think about the last time you called. Not to ask something, not to check a fact or sort out logistics, just to hear their voice, just because you wanted to. When was that? Your parents pick up when it's you. Not every call in their life lands the way yours does. Not every name on their screen makes them stop what they're doing. Yours does. Some of them have your name set to a different ringtone. Some of them silence other calls mid-ring when they see yours come in. Some of them keep the phone within reach more than they used to, not consciously, not dramatically, but they've learned over the years that when you reach out, they want to be there. You probably don't know this. And here's what happens when you call. Before they even answer, there's a moment, private, brief, contained, that you never see. They see your name on the screen, and something in them settles, releases. Something that had been quietly waiting without them naming it as waiting. You called. They don't say that. They say hello. They say, how are you? good to hear your voice. But what moves through them in the second before they answer is the kind of feeling that doesn't have a simple word. It's love that's been sitting quietly, like a room that finally has someone in it. You hang up and go back to your life. They sit with the warmth of that call for hours. This happens every single time. And it will happen every time until one day it can't. When someone dies, people expect the large things to undo them. The belongings, the empty room, the ceremony, they brace for those. What undoes them is the small things. The handwriting on an old grocery list, the number still saved in the contacts. The voicemail greeting recorded years ago in a voice that's somehow exactly as you remember and not quite right, both at once. People call that number for months, quietly, without telling anyone. In the car on the way to somewhere ordinary. When grief comes sideways and needs a place to go, they dial, they listen to the greeting. Sometimes they leave a message. Sometimes they just stay on the line, not saying anything until the beep, because the voice is still there, because the phone still has the number, because for 17 seconds the world sounds like it used to. This is what a phone number becomes. It becomes the last place a voice still lives. Right now, that voice is not on a recording. It's not preserved in an old message. It's on the other end of a live line, waiting to be called. Actually, completely, irreversibly there. If you have a sibling, send them this. No explanation needed. They'll know. None of this is meant to leave you sitting in grief. That's not what this is for. This is for the version of you who already knew all of this, in a quiet and unexamined way, and just needed someone to say it out loud. The part of you that has been carrying the vague, uncomfortable awareness that the window is smaller than it looks. You have a contact in your phone that connects to someone who loves you in a way that cannot be replicated by any other person alive, who will pick up before the third ring, who will say your name the way only they say it, who has been waiting, not desperately, not sadly, but with the particular patience of someone who knows you'll call eventually and has decided that eventually is good enough for them even when it isn't. You have that today, right now. There's one more thing I think you should see. I made a video about what your mom does the moment she sees your name on her screen, what happens inside her in the second before she even answers. It changes how you understand every call you've ever made. It's right there on the screen when you're ready. But first, pick up the phone. Not after this, not in a few minutes, now, before the feeling passes and the day takes back over. Their line is open, their voice is there. Their name is in your contacts, still connected to something living, still able to say yours back. Call them, take care of each other,